Okay, so today we're starting our grammar time. Today we're here with Monica. We're waiting for the other students to arrive, so maybe they'll show up later. So in the meantime, I'm gonna share my screen with you to show you some slides about the topic for today. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so Monica, can you please tell me if you can see the slides? It says online language community, Claudia Torres. Can you see it?
Yes, teacher, I see.
Okay, great. Okay. So to start, I don't know if you remember, or I don't know if you were here last week, but last week we were talking about countables and uncountable nouns, right? So we said that countable nouns are those ones we can count, right? They have singular and they have plural forms. While uncountable nouns, they only have a singular form. They don't have plural forms. Okay, so having said that, okay, just wait a sec. There's one student. Oh yeah. So there's one student that will join our class. Just one sec. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing my screen with you. Just please wait one sec. Okay, so I think now we're here with Laura. Laura, are you here?
Hello, teacher.
Hello, Laura. How are you?
Fine.
Okay, so Laura, today we're gonna talk about countable and uncountable nouns, but this time we're gonna use quantifiers. Okay, so I'm gonna
Okay.
share my screen with you. Just hold a sec. Okay, and here you will find some pictures. Okay, so we're also here with Monica. Okay, so as you can see, there are 4 pictures, but you will find 2 questions, right? How many and how much? So I want you to tell me which nouns you can use to ask how many and which nouns you can use to ask how much. Okay, so remember,
Mm, how, how
sorry,
many? How
how many?
many? For example, things.
Yeah, but look at the pictures. You have to tell me with which nouns.
Okay,
For example,
okay.
if we have
Apple,
apples, okay, how many
people.
apples?
How
People,
many apples? How many people?
yeah,
How, how much? How much money? How much rice?
yes, yeah, good, yeah.
Yeah.
So why did you use how many with apples and with people? Why?
Um, how? Because apple and people is countable.
Yes, countable nouns.
Um, money and rice is uncountable.
Uncountable, yes, uncountable,
Uncountable. Uncountable.
yes, yeah, that's right, that's right. Okay, perfect. And now, what about, um, okay, so can you please tell me one more example with another, a different countable or uncountable noun. I want you to tell me your own examples. For example, I would also ask how many books, right? Because I can count books. Or how much sugar, right? So I want you to tell me your own examples.
For example, how many dogs?
Okay, yeah, good. How many
How,
dogs?
how many cats? How
Um,
many pencils?
Yeah, yeah.
eh, sería almost rice.
How much rice? Yes, because it's uncountable. Yeah. Tell me one more uncountable noun to ask how much.
Um, mm,
Eh, how much water? How much water?
Yes, how much water? Yes.
Water. How much? mm, uh, summer? Summer?
Summer?
how much flour?
Yes, how much flour? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, perfect. So as you could see, you use how much with nouns that are difficult to count, right? Or you usually don't count. You don't count rice by rice, right? So you use how much. And also, for example, dogs. Yeah, you can say one dog, two dogs, right? Three dogs. So how many? Countable. How much? Uncountable, right? Perfect. Okay, so now this is the topic for today. So for today, we're going to talk about a few, a bit of, and a little, right? So we use a few and a bit of, or even we use a little when something means some, okay? So some means that the enough is enough or more that you expect. For example, I have I have some apples, right? So apples is an accountable noun, right? It's a countable noun because I can make plural form of that. If I use a few instead of some, right? I can say I have a few apples, right? It means I have some apples, right? And it's always like a positive meaning. Now, we use, we use a few, as I told you before. For example, in the first example, I have a few ideas. So you can count your ideas. You can also count your friends, right? So we say a few, right? Now, when you have uncountable nouns, you use a bit of or you use a little. Remember, you cannot count the milk, okay? And you cannot count work. And then you say, there's a bit of milk left, right? There's a bit of. And then you also say, it needs a little more, okay? So here you're saying that there's some milk. There's some, but instead of some, you use a bit of. So it could be a small amount, but it's enough, right? So I don't know. Do you understand this part, or do you want me to explain a little bit more? Guys, Laura and Monica, what do you want me to explain a
In,
little more, or is that clear?
so it's clear, teacher. It's clear.
Yeah, it's clear?
Yes.
Oh,
A few and a bit of is countable. No,
n-
it's plural.
no, not
No,
exactly.
no, no.
Okay, I'm
It's
gonna repeat
plural.
that, but okay, I'm gonna explain that in Spanish just a little bit. Okay,
Okay.
usamos a few o usamos a bit of or a little cuando queremos decir que la cantidad es suficiente, o sea, alcanza o tenemos un poco más de lo que imaginábamos. Por ejemplo, en vez de decir tengo algunas ideas, puedes decir if I have a few ideas. Okay. Por ejemplo, este a few lo puedes reemplazar por some en el significado. Significa lo mismo. Y acá también. Okay. There's some milk or there's a bit of. Significa lo mismo. Lo único diferente es que a few solo lo usas con nombres contables. Y a bit of or a little lo usas con nombres no contables. ¿Está más claro?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher. Yes, it's,
Yes.
it's
Okay.
better.
Now, pay attention. You remember in the previous slide we have a few. Okay, this is important because here you have the article a, right? A few. Now, in the next one, you have few. Few, right? You don't have a few, you have few. In the previous one, you had a little, a little, okay? But here you have very little and little. Okay, now pay attention. So we use few and very little to show that we're talking about a small amount, okay? A small amount. Often we feel this amount is not enough, okay? It's not enough or less than we expected. Few is for countable nouns and very little is for uncountable nouns, okay? And here we have some examples. Few people came to the meeting. Okay, so let's say, imagine a meeting and imagine that you were expecting 30 people to go to the meeting, but only 3 people went to the meeting. Imagine. So you had few people, a small amount of people. So you expected more people, right? But there's only 3 people. So it's not enough to have a meeting, right? To have the meeting because you expected 30, not 3, right? And remember, people is countable noun, right? Now, there are few places where you can still see these birds. So this means that maybe there are like 2 or 3 places, but not many places. Not many, right? The most important thing here is when you think about few, very little, or little, you have to imagine like a negative, okay? A negative, yeah, it's like a negative connotation. Now, for example, here, with uncountable nouns, you use very little or little, but little is a little bit formal. Now, we have very little time. So we don't have enough time. Okay. So for example, let's say that you go to the bank, right? And there's a lineup and you are waiting and the bank is gonna close, right? So you say, oh, we have very little time, right? So you don't have enough, you don't have much time. So remember, with this one, with countable, uncountable nouns, it's like you have not much. Okay, not much, not much. And with this one is like not many. Okay, not many, not much. Okay, or I have very little money. So for example, let's say I want to buy a car, but the price is 20 million pesos. Okay, an example. But I only have 5 million, imagine. So it's not enough. So I have very little money to buy the car, right? Okay, so is this clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah,
Yes, teacher.
yeah, okay. So actually, you know, I'm gonna show you. This is sample here. Okay, this was supposed to be at the end, but okay. So when you have little, right? You see the face of the boy? He's sad, right? So he has little cake, right? So there was little cake left when Pete looked in the cupboard. So not much. He's sad, right? It's negative because he doesn't have a lot. No, it's not much. Little. He has little. Now, when you say a little, it's when you have some, you have enough, you have a small amount, but you can have, okay, like a good bite in this case. So, but he found a little more in the fridge. So you see, so he's happy. So it's something positive. So I have a little money. So it's like I have some money, like I have enough money, right? Or here I have enough cake, right? But look at few. Few is with countable nouns, right? So he's talking about, I think these are apples. Yeah, apples, right? So you see, few is not many apples. He's sad, not many, few. Now, with a few, he's happy. Yeah, because he has enough apples, right? So, and if we read the sentences, okay, let me get to the, okay, if we read the sentences, few apples were left in the garden for Pete to pick. So, few apples. He said, not many. Now, but he got a few more from his granny. So he's happy because he has enough apples. Okay, is that better? Is that clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah? Okay. Now here we have more examples. But this time I want you to tell me why here they're using a few, a bit of, and very little. Okay? So Laura, please tell me in the first sentence, I have a few friends, so I'm not lonely.
Em, lo traduzco, ¿sí?
Okay, yeah.
Ok, listo. Entonces yo tengo unos pocos amigos que... yo tengo unos pocos amigos y con poco salario, algo así.
Not exactly. Actually, the translation would be like, tengo algunos amigos, because remember, a few, it's like you say some, right? Some, like algunos. En-
Algunos.
Sería, tengo algunos amigos, por lo tanto, no estoy solo o sola.
Ah, ok.
O sea que los amigos que tengo son suficientes,
Para
¿verdad?
no sentirme
Para
solo,
no
sí.
sentirme sola.
Ok,
Es diferente en la segunda. Mira, en la segunda
sí.
ya dice, she
Tengo...
has
Sí,
few
ya.
friends, so she's quite lonely. Ella tiene pocos amigos, por lo
Mm,
cual ella está algo sola.
sola. Ah, ok,
Entonces,
profe.
en el segundo ejemplo, no es suficiente. Los amigos que tiene son muy pocos y entonces ella se siente sola, ¿ves?
O sea que cuando usamos el I feel es para referirnos a algo que tenemos que aunque sea poco nos alcanza, o sea, es como suficiente. Y el
Eh,
few solo es cuando tenemos algo poco que no nos alcanza.
Exactamente,
Listo.
exactamente. Lo puedes reemplazar para que se te haga más fácil. Podrías pensar que a few es como que tengo algunos amigos, y few solo sería como tengo muy pocos o no tengo muchos.
Ah, ok, profe.
Ujú. Okay. So, and what about you? Yeah, Monica,
Yes, teacher.
what about the third sentence? We've got a bit of time before our train. Shall we get a coffee? So, why do you think they use a bit of in this sentence?
Mm, I think um, a bit of time. Nosotros tenemos poco tiempo antes del tren, de nuestro tren. Dice nosotros tenemos
Mhm.
que, nosotros tenemos
Mhm.
que, poco tiempo, no, poco de tiempo, un poco
Algo
de tiempo. Nosotros tenemos algo de tiempo
exacto. Mhm.
antes de nuestro tren, ¿no?
Mhm. Mhm.
Dice, nosotros vamos, tomamos un café, algo así.
Sí.
Nosotros tenemos un café.
Mhm.
Shall, teacher, ¿qué significa shall?
¿Cómo deberíamos? ¿Deberíamos tomar un café, algo así?
Eh,
O poder.
se utiliza, el shall ahí se utiliza como si fuera un imperativo, como, no sé si se acuerdan de let's go,
Yes,
let,
sí.
Ah, sí, y es
como
como
ese
vamos,
let's, exacto, aquí,
vamos a tomar un café.
exacto. Pero aquí lo que más me importa es el uso del a bit of, right? Entonces, mira que ella dice, tenemos algún tiempo, algo de tiempo, tenemos algo de tiempo. O sea, tienes tiempo suficiente antes del tren, antes de que llegue el tren o antes de que tomen el tren. Y después invita a tomar el café, ¿cierto? Entonces, imagínate, tiene tanto tiempo que se pueden tomar un café. O sea, tienen tiempo suficiente, ¿verdad?
Sí.
So we've got a bit of. So it's enough time in this case. But look at the next example. We've got very little time before our train. Hurry up.
Al contrario,
Mhm.
No tenemos
nosotros
tiempo.
no
Exactly.
tenemos mucho tiempo
Mhm.
antes de nuestro tren
Mhm.
o antes del tren.
Hurry up.
Mucho,
Hurry up.
Súbete,
poco
como
tiempo,
algo así.
muy poco tiempo.
Mhm. And then this person says, hurry up, hurry up. Como apúrate. Hurry up.
Ah,
Yeah.
hurry up.
Yeah, hurry up. Because this person doesn't have, well, here in this situation, they don't have enough time, right? That's why you use a very little, very little. Okay, so that's the main difference. So now here we have some exercises, right? And here I want you to tell me, so which would be the best answer to fill in the gaps? So I have
A few?
a
A
few,
few,
a
a
few
few, a few.
questions. Yes, a few. Why a few?
Eh, question is plural.
Yeah, it's the plural form, right? So if it's a plural, it's a countable noun, right? Okay, and what about the next one? Okay, so what do you think? Do you want
A bit of chocolate?
yes. Yeah. Do you want a bit of chocolate? Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Why? Because chocolate, remember, in English, chocolate is uncountable, right? If you want to count it, you have to say a bar or a piece, right, of chocolate if you want to make it countable.
Ah, ok.
Otherwise, yeah, otherwise it's uncountable.
Um, Profe, pero, ay, perdón, pero es que no sé cómo decirlo en inglés.
No,
Pero el chocolate, digamos, es contable, pero sí es una taza de chocolate,
a
¿cómo
cup,
es?
a cup,
Ah,
a
ok.
cup of hot chocolate. Yes.
Ah, ok,
Yeah,
gracias, profe.
yeah. I know it's confusing, right? Um, because sometimes in Spanish is countable noun, but in English it's not. So my advice, I don't know, my advice is every time you have the word like chocolate or something that it's a liquid, like hot chocolate or coffee, or right. So try to use a container, a cup of, right, a cup of coffee.
Ok, teacher, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so you made. Okay, you made blank
Creo que es, you may few mistakes.
few, right?
Few.
Okay, why? Why few and not a few?
Um,
Why do you think?
Em, Creo que es así. Because they can't be money.
Mm, I don't know. What do you mean? Because. Can you repeat that?
Sí. Because they can't be money. O sea, más o menos, pienso que es few porque Aunque los puedo contar, puede que sean muchos, ¿no? O sea, como muy...
Okay, well, not exactly. Pay attention. You made blank mistakes. There's a period and it says, well done. Okay, so imagine you're taking a test, right? And the test is, it has, I don't know, like 30 questions, right? But you only had 3 mistakes. And then your teacher says, oh, well done, right? Well done because you made few mistakes, right? So you didn't make many mistakes, right? Like not many. So remember, few is not many or right in this case because it's countable, not many mistakes.
Okay,
Okay, I'm
okay.
gonna explain that in Spanish just a little bit. Um, Recuerden, few es cuando no son muchos, no son suficientes. Entonces, en ese ejemplo de 30 preguntas, solo tuviste 3 errores. O sea, no tuviste muchos errores.
Okay.
Few
Few,
mistakes.
few. Listo.
Okay, and what about the next one? I have
Very
blank
light. Money.
very little. Yeah,
Little.
very little money. Okay, why very little? Monica, do you know why very little money?
Because money is uncountable. Very little is uncountable.
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 Yes, yeah, that's
Uncountable.
right. Yeah, uncountable. Yeah. What
Uncountable.
about this one? You have blank students. Yes. Few or very little?
Few.
Few. Yeah. Why? Why? Why is that? Why few? Yeah. So students is countable or uncountable?
Countable.
Yeah. So we use few because it's countable noun.
Sí.
Okay. What about the next one? They have blank rain in summer. They have blank rain in summer. So what do you think?
Very light.
Very little.
Little, perdón.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, very little. Yeah,
Little.
because we're talking about the rain, right? You cannot count, oh, one rain, two rain. No. So very little
Very little.
rain. Very rain. Perfect. Now, here we have
Very. I have very. It is noisy. We need a bit of a bit of
yes, a bit off. A bit off.
a bit of.
Yes. Okay, so it's not easy. You will need a bit of help, right?
Okay.
Okay, but why here did you choose a bit of and not very little? Why?
Mm, because a bit of is poco. Algo de
Yes.
ayuda.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't need, no, is not very little because very little it is mucho, bastante. No?
No, very little is like not much, not
No,
much.
Okay.
Eh, And here in the first sentence, it says, it's
it,
not
it's not
easy.
easy. ¿No es fácil?
Exactly. Yeah.
Entiendo.
So it's not easy. So you will need a bit of. So you will
Eh,
need some help. Some help.
because light barely lighter, ¿sí? ¿Es así?
Very little. Very
Liter
little.
es eh, es we- when it is easy, o sea, es como cuando barely es como cuando algo no es, cuando algo es fácil, perdón, como cuando algo es más fácil que otra cosa, creo.
Okay, could be. Pay attention. I'm gonna translate it. Okay, I'm not supposed to do it, but okay. Um, si algo no es fácil, significa que vas a necesitar eh, ayuda, o sea, vas a necesitar bastante ayuda o vas a necesitar algo de ayuda. Pero si algo es fácil, vas a necesitar muy poca ayuda. O sea, ahí sería very little si fuera fácil, pero no es fácil, ¿verdad? It's not easy. So you will need a bit of help, right?
O sea, teacher, hay que tener como tener muy claro el contexto de la oración.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because
Mm,
help is uncountable, right? So as is uncountable, you can use a bit of or you could use very little. But it depends on the sentence, right? Because in the sentence, it says it's not easy, okay? It's difficult. If something is difficult, it means that you will need some help, right? Remember, a bit of is some help. Now, if something is easy, yeah, you will need very little help, right? Because you don't need people helping you when something is easy. But here is not easy. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah. If it's not, let me know. Okay. Now look at the next one. Is it okay if I bring blank friends?
few, few.
Few?
Yo digo que es a few.
A few. Yes, it's a few. Yeah. Here, I know it's tricky because you could use a few or few, right? But let's say that you're talking about a party, right? And then you say, oh, okay, so is it okay if I bring some friends? Some, remember, try to associate a few with some friends, a few friends, right? It's difficult. It's different if you say, uh, is it I invited, I don't know, 20 friends to my party, but only few of them showed up. So, like, not enough, right? In that sentence. But here you need a few, like some friends. Can I bring some friends? A few friends. Okay. Now here you have a reading. Okay. And here you have to choose. You may not use all of them. You're only use you're gonna use only 3. Okay. but let's try to do it together, okay? So I'm gonna read the first sentence and then you're gonna repeat that sentence, okay? So Alex is now settling down at his new school. Alex, can you repeat after me? Alex
Alex
is now settling down at his new school.
is now settling down at his new school.
At first, he kept very much to himself and had
At
first
first,
at
he
kept
at first he kept very much to
to
himself
and
and had
blank
um,
say for himself.
words to say for himself.
Mhm. Okay, so let's stop here. Okay, so Alex is now settling down at his new school, right? So when you are settling down is, for example, when you are adjusting, right?
Teacher,
So
teacher, sorry, my phone don't have but energy.
okay, so you're running out of battery. Okay, no
Yes,
worries. Okay, so try to plug it. Okay, we'll wait for you, and you can connect later. Okay.
okay.
Okay. Okay. So let's continue. So Alex is now
I got.
settling at his new school. So he changed or he moved to a new school. He's adjusting. Él se está ajustando. Se está, right? At first, he
Sí.
kept very much to himself. Okay, and had, so you have to choose, and had a few, a little, and little. Okay, to say for himself. So when you kept, okay, so pay attention here, kept
To
very much to himself is when you
himself.
are quiet and you don't talk to other people. You keep, yeah, to yourself, right? So you don't talk to other people. You're a little bit shy, right?
Sí, es como si estuviera diciendo que él está haciendo las cosas como por sí mismo o algo así.
No, not
Como,
exactly. It's like he's shy, like he doesn't want to talk to other people because maybe he's afraid of other people. So that's when you keep to yourself, right?
ujú,
So
ok.
you don't want to talk to other people.
Mm,
So, and
es
had
que creo que es and had al. Ay, se me olvidó otra vez cómo se pronuncia. Lighted, leader,
little,
leader.
little.
Ujú.
Okay.
Pero no, la verdad no estoy segura.
Okay, no worries, no worries. Try to write it in the chat, okay? Later, I'll show you the answers, okay? Now, in the second part, in the second sentence, he had, and there's a blank, right? So he had blank friends because he kept silent all the time.
All the time he had friends.
So he had blank friends.
A few. He had few friends because.
Yeah, could be. Write it in the chat, okay? Later, I'll show you the answers, okay?
Ah, ok. Primero leemos y después la respondemos, ¿sí?
Yeah, exactly.
Ok.
Okay.
Qué pena.
No, it's okay, it's okay. And you can write it in the chat. You can write your answers Okay, so you can write number 1, number 2, and number 3.
Okay. Okay. Okay, teacher.
Okay, now the next sentence. He wasn't really happy. This term is
This is
as
better.
he made some new friends, including blank
Right.
friends.
Really good friends. Profe, una preguntita. Esa palabra, perdón, es que es así, no la he podido pronunciar. La de this term is better. La que sigue.
Better,
Sí, pero después de esa, la otra.
though,
Though.
though.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, though means but,
But,
though,
though,
as he has made some
as,
new friends,
as he has made some
new
some
friends,
new friends,
including,
including
okay, so there's a blank, really good friends.
really good friends.
Okay, so did you write the answers in the chat? Okay, try to write the
Yes.
answers in the chat. Okay, and then I'll show you the answers.
Okay. Entonces, ¿las respondo? ¿Comienzo a responderlas? ¿Sí?
Yeah.
Ok. Sigo teniendo la duda, pero me voy a ir a que and had a later to
Little.
later. Perdón, es que me queda difícil grabarme esa palabrita.
No worries. Little. Okay, so let me check. Did you write it in the chat? I cannot see the chat.
Profe, se ve oscuro. No se ve.
Oh, wait, sorry. Just let me get to.
No.
Just one, please. Okay, now can you see it?
Entonces, to say for himself, he had a few friends. Ah, no, mentiras. No, miento. He had few friends because, ¿sí? Yes or no?
Look at this. Look at this.
Ay. Perdí todas. Bueno, la de few, sí.
Okay, so pay attention here. And in the first one, okay. So at first, he kept very much to himself and had little to say for himself, right?
Okay.
So, and had little to say. Little because you're talking about words. You're talking about what he said, okay? Something you cannot count that, right?
Okay.
And now in the second one, he had few friends. Yeah, because he kept silent all the time. So as he was silent all the time, maybe he made some friends, but not many, right? Not many friends, right? Not enough. So few friends.
Sí.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, in the next sentence, this term is better, though. Though is like but. Remember, it's like a contrast.
Okay.
It's a change. As he has made some new friends, including a few really good friends. So now he has more friends, right? So it's like it's enough, the amount of friends that he has now.
Ok. O sea, unos, como por decir, unos pocos amigos reales o unos pocos buenos amigos, algo así, más o menos.
Yeah, but it would like algunos amigos, pero suficientes, ¿verdad?
Ok, sí.
Okay. And this was the the picture I showed you before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I'm gonna ask you to write a sentence for each quantifier. Okay,
Okay.
so you're gonna write a sentence with little, another with a little, other with few, and one more for a few. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
okay. And I want you to write it in the chat.
Mm, eh,
Okay, so write it in the chat. I'm gonna stop sharing the screen. Okay, here we have the chat. Okay, perfect. Right, sentence, yeah, with little, a little, few, and a few. Okay.
teacher is I feel is book. I feel is book.
A few books.
Sí, a few books.
Books.
Pocos cuadernos, pocos libros.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Mm,
but remember, it's a sentence, right? The sentence.
ok, entonces, hay few books. Yes, no, no.
Try to write it in the chat, okay? And I'll help you out.
Okay.
Okay. A few. Oh, I feel. No, but pay attention. Few is not a verb. Okay, few is not a verb. Okay, so you can say I have few books, right? I have few books, right? Because have is the verb, right? So I have.
Okay, teacher.
Few is the quantifier. It tells you the amount, the quantity, right? Okay, so Javier. Hi, Javier. How are you? Javier? Okay, so Laura says, I have very little coffee. Okay, but remember, coffee is the right spelling for coffee. And when we use, we always use I for the pronoun, and we always use capital letter for the pronoun I. So let's say that you say, I have very little coffee. Yeah, very little, right? Like not enough, not enough coffee.
Okay.
Okay, so now give me one more sentence with a few. A few. With a few, and one more with a bit of. A bit of. Okay, so Laura says, I have a few outlets. Okay, but what do you mean for outlets? You mean the shopping center, or you mean the one to plug the no outlet outfits? Hi Javier, how are you? Okay, so maybe Laura, maybe what you mean is a few outfits. Yeah, I'm gonna write it here, outfits. A few, like you have enough, right?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah,
It's office.
the
Okay.
clothes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Uh, so Javier, we're today we were talking about. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen again. Yeah, to show you what's the topic for today. Okay, so we were talking about little, a little, few, and a few. Okay, and now we are here writing sentences for each quantifier. Okay, we're running out of time. Actually, we're right. Yeah, so that's why I'm gonna show you this link here. Okay. Uh, so pay attention at home. At home, you can practice. Okay, you can practice. Oh, sorry, it's not this one.
Teacher, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Javier. So you showed up a little bit late, right?
Very, very late. Excuse me. I'm a little lost there.
Yeah, you're lost. Yeah, I know. I understand. Yeah, the thing is, yeah, we're almost finished.
Excuse me, teacher. What is the topic?
Topic today was quantifiers for countable and countable nouns, but we only used little, a little, few, and a few. Yeah. So at the end of this session, the recording will be posted in the chat. Okay. So, you know what? This is the wrong worksheet. Okay. Okay, so yeah, but that was the idea for today. So I'm gonna share. Actually, this is the link. So don't pay attention to the first link that I sent you. If that one is not correct, it's the last one. Okay. So this is a homework. Okay. Actually, it's something that you can use to practice at home. Okay. The topic for today. And I'm gonna post this video at the end of the session so you can check the video for the explanation. Okay, especially Javier, because you couldn't yeah show up before, right? Okay. Okay, so Laura, Javier, do you have any questions for today? I don't know, Laura, do you have any question for the class? Something you want me to explain you better?
Not questions, teacher.
Questions? Okay, so everything was clear, right? I hope so.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, enjoy your Halloween. I don't know if you're gonna celebrate it or not, but yeah, it's gonna be different in this year, right? I think so. Okay, guys. Okay. Bye. See you.
Bye,
Take
teacher.
take
The
care.
next class teacher, excuse me for a right lost, very very
Okay.
late.
No worries. No worries. Okay.
I'm going to do that homework. Thank you.
Oh, bye.